Good morning, everyone. Sweet Tea, Tommy, Daniel Berry, Duke. Good to see you guys. Slowly getting set up here. Stayed up a little late last night. Not too late. I was up till like 8 o'clock, which is might as well be midnight for me. We went to some macaroni and cheese place yesterday. I Heart Mac and Cheese. What a fucking ripoff that place was. $64 is not even a restaurant. Just a little to-go type of place. I mean, you can sit down in there, but what's a little late for me, Sweet Tea? It's a good question. Am I coming or going? We never know. We never know with Mossada. But yeah, I had a grilled cheese and bacon and tomato sandwich. These little half cherry tomatoes that were like nuclear hot. It was weird. I wasn't impressed. My daughter liked it, but I wasn't impressed myself. I was expecting something different. But you never know till you try a place, I guess, right? Because I'm all about a good grilled cheese sandwich, so I was disappointed. We had one of those mac and cheese places near me. It didn't last long. Super expensive and not much food for that. Yeah, I won't be back. My daughter said she'd go back, but I won't go back. There's a place out in Buckley, Main Street Bistro, that makes a grilled cheese sandwich. That's so good, I need to ask them how they make it. I know they use mayo, which I'm not a fan of mayonnaise, but I'll make an exception for that grilled cheese sandwich if that's what they use. But yeah, I got a sandwich and soup. We got these Mac Bite bacon and jalapeno things, appetizer. Yeah, $64. Ridiculous. I could understand 35, but 60. Come on now. All right, let's get to it. What is today? Monday? So it's back to the full schedule, right? January 5th. Hopefully everybody has a new calendar. Because if you still got your 2025 calendar, you're behind the 8 ball right now. I bought mine on, I think, the 30th of December, my new calendar for the year. I think all of the holidays are on Saturday this year, that from what I've seen. Valentine's Day is on a Saturday. Easter is April 5th. Fourth of July is on a Saturday this year. That's kind of cool. Halloween's on a Saturday this year. Christmas is on a Friday. Valentine's Day, the 14th. I don't have a whole lot going on this month. I got to find something to do. I'm still going to write 2025 for a bit, guaranteed. Yeah, I think we'll all do that. We back to work, back to school, all Saturdays. Yeah, lots of Saturdays are good for holidays for me. I like it. I like them being on the weekends. Saturday is actually a really good day for Halloween, especially. I'm looking forward to that. Friday and Saturday will be good for that. 4th of July being on a Saturday will be good. I just signed up for the Maple Valley Farmers Market. again, which starts in May. And then there's registration for Lacey. I'm going to do 2 markets this year. And the registration for that starts on the 15th. And that's a Thursday. So I have a market Thursday. And that's a night market. And then Friday at the admin building, Saturday at the Maple Valley. And then Sunday, I don't know, Sunday. Can always go up to Bigfoot Java. When I used to have a checkbook, I would write the new year on the first few checks of the new year. Yeah, I bet you a lot of people did that. The good old checkbooks. Anybody still write checks? I had a checkbook at one point in time in my life for a while. Not a fan of the checkbook myself. You know, I definitely like online banking. It's so much easier. You can go in there and look at all your spending. You know, it shows the circular graph of, you know, I'm sure your guys' is the same as mine. 75% of your income goes to the cannabis shop. And then out of that last 25%, you know, you've got food and gas and rent, stuff like that. Let's see here. The good old cannabis shop. Don't need the cannabis shop today. What we need is the coffee store. We need to go to the grocery store. I need to go shopping. That's what I need to do. Go restock up on everything. Watched this video last night where this guy was saying his goal for his business is not to make more money, but to make everything that he already makes better. I thought that was good advice. Don't worry about trying to make any more profit. Just try to concentrate on making everything better that I already make. So because I want to make some new products. So instead of stressing myself out like I've been already, I'm going to just concentrate on doing what I do, doing as best as I can do it, try to make a little bit better, and then go from there. So that's what I'm going to do. Nice. Improve on what he built. Yep, exactly. You know, I can make my packaging better. I can make my labels better. I can make my table setup better. Start with little things like that. Went and bought everything to do lemonade. People have been asking me for lemonade the last couple of weeks. I went and got everything for lemonade. I don't have huckleberries. I'm not going to spend $180 on huckleberries every week. I'm giving myself a break on that for a minute. But I am going to start back up on that pretty soon. Just give everybody a chance to miss the huckleberries for a minute. All right, let me turn on the X Files, see what we got going on. A bunch of bullshit. Everybody's got their opinions about Venezuela. It's not like some of us ain't been talking about that shit for months now, about what was really going on. Now, everybody has an opinion. Everybody's an expert now. Everybody knows about Venezuela now. Of course you do. Lemonade, is it warm by you? No, it's freezing. It's wet. It's cold. But, you know, it's going to be wet and cold here for the next how many months? All of January, all of February, all of March, all of April, most of May, some of June. So it's just, it is what it is here in Washington. So once you're at work and you're inside and, you know, you can pretend that it's a hot summer day and you can have a snow cone, a lemonade, whatever you want. You know what I really want to do, and I thought about doing it this week, egg rolls. I know that sounds like coming from left field, but believe it or not, that's the first thing that I ever did when it came to selling anything vending-wise. It was in 1998. I sold egg rolls at a firework thing. It started with my ex. Her father came from Korea, American guy, but he worked in Korea as a crash test pilot on helicopters. And he comes for Christmas and he brings an egg roll recipe, makes egg rolls. And I fucking fall in love with these things. They are so delicious. They're just like packed with meat. They're ground beef, and then they have some vegetables in them, which I'm not a fan of vegetables, but whatever. They shrink up in there. It's got soy sauce, a little namba, salt and pepper. They're very good. You dip them in sweet chili sauce. So he gave me the recipe, and I started making them for myself. Gila would make them, my ex. And we worked together. We worked in the same building at the time at a bingo hall. I worked in speed bingo. She worked in the regular bingo hall. And we would bring them to work. And people wanted to start buying them. So I would make a whole bunch of them and freeze them. And then I was selling them for $7 a dozen, frozen, in like 1998, 1999 at work. And I would make like $100 before work even started. And that's what inspired me. I was like, man, that's what got the wheels turning. And, 20-year-old Jason was those egg rolls. It's like, fuck, I need to start selling these. So then I finally got a stand and an opportunity to do it. And it was rough. But we sold 3,000 egg rolls in 13 days. I was up there for 13 days. It's about 150 miles away from home. And it was a grind, but I did it. I had like 5 or 6 employees. We rented a hotel room, and it was a whole operation. And I made like $800 profit after I paid everybody. I paid $7 a piece for empanadas at the airport. Damn. Joe Della, good morning. Good to see you. Maybe Mossada is the right name for you. You had inside info on Venezuela. Yeah, exactly. I'm the guy that comes on in the middle of the night, and then I disappear, and then you don't know who I am. I'm just a guy out selling chocolate strawberries. So that's what it is. That's funny, sweet tea. Joe Della, hope you're doing good. But yeah, so that's how it started, was the egg roll business. And then I didn't do it again for like another 12, 13 years. And I did the Sugar Shack, I called it, where I did deep fried Twinkies and deep fried Snicker bars, stuff like that. Was not successful. I did that for a fireworks season for Muckleshoot. And the most I made was $400 on the 4th of July. That was like my biggest day. Not real profitable, but you live and learn. I mean, some things work, some things don't. But anyway, fast forward, you guys know the story about what I do now, and I want to try the egg rolls again. I already know I can do it, and I already know everybody loves the egg rolls. I know they're going to be a moneymaker. It's just a matter of how to do it properly, and just, I don't know. There's a lot. It's just, you just have to figure it out. So, yeah, egg rolls, believe it or not, Tommy. People, they call them lumpia, actually. Lumpia is the proper name. That is the name of the wrap that goes around the roll. So, yeah. Very popular amongst, and the thing is my clients on Friday are, Native American, and some of them are Pacific Islander. Some of them have Spanish descent. So the egg rolls are going to be very popular. They're going to be very popular. And I, when I'm in there selling all my sweets on Friday, I see nothing but Uber Eats or whatever it is, DoorDash, all of those food delivery places nonstop in that building. Because the building that I set up in, I think it's like 7 or 8 stories. It's a huge building. It doesn't look like it from the lobby that I'm in. I don't know if you've ever seen the inside of that lobby. It doesn't look that big. But believe me, it's a huge building. There's a lot of people that work there. And they all order Uber Eats. They do, a lot of them buy my stuff. But I think I could literally double my income if I start doing food. because from like it starts out pretty slow for me in the mornings. Not a lot of people want to dig into some chocolate at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., but they're already starting to eat. That's the thing, sweet tea, that I got to figure out. They're already going to be ready to eat because they're not going to want to. The target market here is people that are hungry for lunch. So I need to make it as convenient as possible. I need to give them a reason to order my egg rolls and not Uber Eats. And Uber Eats is going to win most of the time just because there's they have the whole world at their fingertips from what they can order. Pizza. I mean, you see everything under the sun come through there. I seen a Burger King bag come through there the last time. I didn't know Burger King made a bag that big. And I'm thinking to myself, I got sick even looking at that bag. Like, what is possibly in that fucking Burger King bag? All that food in there. Hopefully that's for like 20 fucking people if that bag is that big. Oh, God. But Uber Eats and those guys are going to win most of the time. But if I have something right there and, those egg rolls, I know that's the answer. Magooch, good morning. Good to see you. So they got to be ready to eat, but I'm not bringing my deep fryer down there. So I need to figure out a system where I can cook them and then transport them there. And then that's where it gets a little, like, I don't know exactly what I want to do. I could bring a heat lamp. We have heat lamps at the kitchen. I know the chef would let me use one of those and then set up a thing where it's just almost like a buffet table style kind of thing. It's not going to be a buffet, and I think that might be the way to go. Or because my ex, she's the expert, and I already had an idea where I was just going to put them in microwavable containers already cooked, and you're going to have rice. You can either have fried rice or white rice, egg rolls, and then I don't know what else. Maybe like potato salad or something. My ex makes all kinds of shit. I just need to get a recipe from her for something and make it like a meal, like a little happy meal with a drink. That's what I did the last time that I did it. People love that. Can come with a bag of chips or something stupid like that. But I don't even really need to concentrate on the chips or none of that because they have chips there. They have an unlimited amount of chips and pop and all that shit just because they work in that building. So they don't need any of that stuff. They just want the egg rolls. So I got to work on that because I can rack my brain about, and I am going to develop all new products this year. And there's some that'll stick. Like I'm definitely going to develop my cheesecake game. My strawberry shortcakes are perfect the way they are. And those are a $5 item that I hopefully don't have to raise the price on. And I can just crank those bad boys out. And I think those will just keep getting more and more popular. So I'll keep those. My caramel apples are perfect. My chocolate strawberries are perfect. Those three things are staying just the way they are, but there's lots of other things that like all my chocolates, like my dark chocolate pecan turtles, those are pretty solid. The packaging definitely I could work on, but I just feel like all my other stuff is just like, it's just, I don't know. Pass. Novelty type of stuff almost. I feel like I want stuff that people want to just like they can't say no to, Stephen Mornello, good morning, good to see you. So I did do a lot better this year though, because the last few years I've ended up with a lot of stuff left over, lots of hot cocoa bombs. And this year I don't have that many. Other than the country market. You know, she buys my stuff and then resells it in her store. And sometimes she just charges too much, I think, you know. And so people don't want to buy it. She was charged $24 for my Dubai bars and $30 for a 6-pack of hot cocoa bombs. It's just, which is interesting because I charge 27 for 6 packs of hot cocoa bombs, and I sold a ton of those this year. As a matter of fact, I sold every last one that I made except for the ones I gave her. And none of the ones I gave her. Yeah, a couple of them. I think maybe 3 of them sold. I gave her 6. She's got 3 left. CG2, good morning. Good to see you. So yeah, little things like that. And I also want to get, you know, like there's this one company that does freeze-dried candy. The sweetest thing they're called. And they're all over the place. You know, they're an LLC. They've got lots of employees and, you know, they can be at multiple places at one time. The freeze-dried candy phenomenon has flatlined, in my opinion. I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning thinking about freeze-dried candy anymore, nor do they about a Dubai bar, because you can buy them literally everywhere now. So I don't even think about Dubai bar. I have plenty of Dubai bar ingredients. It's not even on my radar right now. I have probably 30 Dubai bars already made. It just is what it is. I saw freeze-dried M&Ms yesterday. Yeah, these guys have everything under the sun, from every candy to ice cream sandwiches and pickles and cheesecake bites. They freeze-dry everything. And they have, you know, but the thing about those guys is the shelf life on their candy has to be really long. And they set up little racks they've got places everywhere. I see their fucking candy everywhere, you know, like all the little bookstores and knick-knack shops and everywhere. Fucking meat markets, it don't matter. They got their candy everywhere because it's just low maintenance. All they have to do is, you know, stock their little thing, and they can put a ton of stuff up there. It's probably on consignment. You know, they probably just load it up and then charge them on what they sell. I still have a textbook, but I don't use it. That's awesome, Stephen. My buddy keeps telling me about this book he wants me to read, Behold the Pale Horse. He said it was written in the 70s. I said, I'm willing. He said, I want to read it, but I will only invest my time in reading a book if I can get a copy of the book that was actually printed when it was written. For example, I'm not going on Amazon or to Barnes and Noble to buy a reprinted copy of some book that they could make the characters gay and, you know, he had mental awareness day and all this fucking bullshit. I don't need it. And I know they do that to books, so I need the original copy. Then I might read it. Your team got a number 1 seed, Seattle. Yes, we did. So I think we play. Still to be determined, I think, right? Yeah, because we get a bye. And the Bills play the Panthers, I think. Let's look at the schedule real quick. Where's Steen do at? NFL schedule. Not scores. Schedule. So the wild card round on next Saturday, This Saturday, I should say. Today is already Monday. The Rams and the Panthers at 1:30 p.m. That's Pacific time. And the Packers and the Bears also on Saturday. And then Sunday, we've got the Bills and the Jaguars, the 49ers and the Eagles, and the Chargers and the Patriots. And then on Monday, it's the Texans and the Steelers. So 6 wild card games over 3 days this week coming up. I'm going to predict, man, I have no idea. I am not going to predict nothing. And then after that will be the divisional rounds on the 17th and 18th. And then the conference championships on the 25th. And the Super Bowl is on February 8th. Where is the Super Bowl this year? I think it's in California this year, isn't it? Let me see here. Yep. Levi Stadium. Santa Clara, California, 2026. And then it's in Sophie Stadium in Inglewood, California in 2027. And Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, 2028. I know what Levi's is, and I know what Mercedes-Benz is. What is Sophie? Do I really give a shit to look that up right now? Not really. Yeah, I have to, because I can't go through life not knowing what shit is. Sophie Stadium. What does Sophie mean? Social Finance. Social Finance Technologies Incorporated. A bunch of douchebags in suits that started a student loan refinancing and expanded into banking, investing, credit cards, and personal loans. Well, it's great. Headquartered in San Fran. Oh, so they're faggots. Oh, so they're just a bunch of fags. I get it. Sophie. I mean, that's just a gay name in general, if you think about it. What a fucking gay name. Sophie. Sophie. Oh, Sophie. Please come out of the closet, Sophie. Speaking of coming out of the closet, I think we've got a video of Lindsey Graham. Remember that story about his ladybugs? So fucking disgusting. Let's see here. We have Aaron Rodgers, who plays for, I think he plays for the Steelers now. I that's what it looks like. I did not know this.
It's pretty emotional, honestly. It's been a great year. So I'm thankful for these guys and excited to be going to the playoffs for the first time in a long while.
Does that mean you're riding off into the sunset after this?
No, it's been a grinding year. And 2 years before that were tough as well. So it's been an absolute blessing to be here with these fans and this organization and Mike T and the leadership that we got with these guys. And, I think we found that little bit, that's something special, which is belief tonight on the offensive side. And I'm proud of our guys, the way we responded in the fourth quarter.
Had to ask it. Cam, come on.
So it says Melissa Stark asking Aaron Rodgers about retirement was really unprofessional, in my opinion. Well, a lot of things that those people do are unprofessional. The athletes, all of them. So who cares? They advanced last night, Pittsburgh. Yeah, and who did they play? Let's see here. The Texans, Monday night. That's going to be a tough game. Let's see if where's my phone at? Let's see if the odds are out yet. I guess I could ask ChatGPT, but I want to go to this actual sports book. Be interesting to find out. And, as predicted, I keep saying that they're going to go to artificial intelligent refereeing next year, and that there's going to be there. I just feel like they're going to, all of these little scenarios that are playing out where it's questionable. Should they have went for the 2 points? Should they have kicked the field goal? Blah, blah, blah. Tommy will tell you it's all about the what's the term for it? The parlays. The parlay, right? There's a name for it. God, it's gonna bug me now. What do you call it when it's the parlay? The prop bets. Thank you, Stephen. I'm about to throw my phone across the room. The prop bets. It's all about the prop bets. They don't know what questions asked half of the time. Yeah, it's cringe. Prop bets. Thank you, Magooch. It's all about the prop bets. I mean, for example, there was a game with Minnesota and Green Bay. I think I might have bookmarked it. It was 16-0. There's only 1 second left. Minnesota was favored by 13.5. And with 1 second left, Green Bay calls a timeout and kicks a field goal. And then that just clearly is just affecting the point spread. So, I don't know. There's got to be like, I don't know. I don't know how all that works. Green Bay kicked the field goal. Yeah, you seen that, Steven? So, let's see here. Football. Here we go. College, pro football. Yep, here we go. So, oh, wow. The Rams are a huge favorite, 10-point favorite over the Panthers. So, you the money line, you could bet on the Rams. You'd have to bet $650 to win 100. Or you could just take the, have to give up 10 points. The Bears and the Packers are favored by 1. The Bills and the Jaguars, the Bills are favored by 1. 49ers and the Eagles are favored by 3.5. And the Chargers and the Patriots are favored by 3.5. And then the Steelers and the Texans, the Texans are favored by 3. 39.5 on the over-under in that game. So the big upset would be if the Panthers could beat the Rams, I guess. Watch out for Houston. So that's the Texans, right? Yep. Well, I thought they were Tennessee. Oh, no, that's the Titans. Every year I see things, especially in football, that I can't believe when it comes to the last 2 minutes. Yeah, that's when it really, really gets. I mean, that's when they can really affect the game, the outcome of the game, right? I mean, they affect the outcome of the game throughout the game. They steered in the right direction. But yeah, at some point. Good morning, Mustang. Mike, good to see you. At some point, they got to, they get the call, right? And they're like, this, that, and the other. And then they do what they got to do. And it's just crazy how, just my opinion, that at the top of the food chain of the referees, their organization, their society, whatever you want to call it, along with the agents who are all involved in the mob, and are lawyers in their own little society. The billionaire Jewish cabal that runs all the people that own the football teams. I mean, there's a lot going on there. So to not think that they're throwing games and fixing this come on, that's what those people do. That's what their whole life revolves around, is money and power and control and deception. So it's all very interesting. It's like there's got to be a very sophisticated system in place for that all to play out. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like, it could literally just be one person making the call saying, we need to do this, we need to throw this flag, we need to whatever. And then what type of system gets everybody to fall in line? It's very interesting. There is a lot going on there. Yes, they have a great defense and all young guys in Houston. Yeah, Seattle too. I realized was like, man, I didn't know their quarterback was white. I still thought it was Geno Smith, and now it's I can't think of his name now. Dar something, Darland, or guy from USC. They all know the lines. They read the paper. It's just weird that years ago, before all these betting sites, you never saw any of these things. And see, it is weird. And this is what my theory has been all along, is that because you're right, we all know that this kind of stuff has been going on for a long time. And they would have to be so stupid to be so careless as to do it the way that they're doing it, because they're just drawing attention to themselves about what's going on. But I think it's by design. I think it's by design because the people that in reality that are dumb are the American people. I mean, we just are, when it comes to a lot of stuff. So they have to kind of like really kind of hold our hand and show us like, hey guys, we're cheating over here. They want everybody to see, hey, hello, we're cheating. So that everybody finally realizes that they're cheating, then they can come out and say, okay, well, we have a solution. We're gonna move towards AI style refereeing. So there's no subjectivity. It's all, because even like in a replay booth, if the eyes on the replay could be paid off. But if it's AI, there's no way to pay it off. There actually is. And at the end game is still, they're obviously going to deceive the public and make the money that they've always made and continue to make. They have their business plans laid out for the next 20 years. It's not going to be by chance. Everything's by design, and they're not stupid. So that's just my theory. AI is going to take over on when it comes to the refereeing. And so that these kind of things can't happen anymore. And if they didn't blatantly show us that there was fuckery going on, there would be no reason to implement AI. Then the pushback would be too great. So now they always want to trick us into doing what it is they want us to do. So now everybody's going to be like, well, these refs suck. Nobody's doing their job. Everybody's in on it. Something's going on. So yeah, we might as well bring in, Big Brother. I think what's going to happen personally. It's crazy. It's true. We are easily influential. Yeah. Seattle's going to be tough. Sam Darnold is his name. Thank you, Stephen. Mossada, I seen it all at my age, and it's always about the money. Well, yeah, exactly. We know that, Stephen, right? We know it's about the money. Even like those poor guys that got busted with their gambling racket, that's some bullshit. It's like they always gotta, there's levels to everything, because someone's always going to get, when you involve yourself in stuff like that, the big guys are always going to, cover their ass. So the amount of money, and what's crazy is it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And when I first started my YouTube channel, when I met these guys online, I already had an actual YouTube channel, but there was no content. I had like 2 still videos that I made of my strawberries. That was the only thing I had on this channel. And the very first videos that I made, other than me like filming myself dipping strawberries, the very first videos that I made were like, okay, I want to talk about something that I'm passionate about, was about online gambling. And I deleted all my earlier content. But my very first, and I made a bunch of them, I went toe to toe with Moss, and I ended up being right. Where it was about how people kill themselves from gambling too much online, and it's just such a horrible idea. But here we are, and it's going to happen. Mossada, it's even easier with AI because you can change things in seconds. That's the thing, Magoots. That's what people I don't think are gonna, that is very true. It's that it's not even just in seconds. It's almost like it's in real time. It's like they did it with the videos of the Charlie Kirk assassination. The manipulation is real. I think our brains are now starting to get wired to identify AI videos. And me personally, like I don't even scroll videos anymore because of that AI thing. At least on Facebook, I don't. But our brains are getting wired to identify AI. But that doesn't mean that we're going to be, it's crazy because I think when it comes to something like this, when you're talking about the importance of how much money is involved in sports betting, I mean, this is no joke. Okay. When it comes to like what's really going on at the top, this is no joke. This is military grade technology. You know what I'm saying? Like the psychology involved and the technology involved. This is no joke. People will die very quickly if they get involved in fucking with that trail of money. So, yeah. I personally, I think we all can agree on this. It's just anybody that thinks that they're going to make money gambling on sports, you're wrong. It's not even, there's no point in belittling anybody or calling them dumb or not. You're just wrong. You're gonna ruin your life. That's just what's gonna happen. And nobody is immune to it. Nobody is immune to it, especially when it's on your phone. And then they're gonna constantly like ring the little bells. Ding, 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 ding. Look over here. We got the little spinning slot machine. Do, 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 ding. How did you meet the other guys? It started with MMA holes, actually, Sweet Tea. I was following Moss for a few years from the MMA holes. I started following him like in 2020. And then, when COVID hit, there was nothing to do, but everybody was home. And so I was like, really got involved in his show. And I was at his show every day. And then I have 3 guys chasing away, and then they are losing their asses off. Yeah, it happens, Steven. There's certain people out there. That's just what they want to do. There's certain dudes out there. That's just what they want to do. Like me, I could easily be that guy. Like I could easily just like get a job and just gamble. I could easily find myself doing that. And if I didn't have the dreams that I do with my business, that might be what I'd be doing. Honestly, if gambling didn't suck so bad in Washington State, that they didn't fuck it up so bad, I probably would spend time in the casinos, but it's just such a horrible proposition that it's not worth it. Excuse me 1 second here. Gargle some water real quick. It's just they've ruined the experience. So but I think that everything is by design. These guys are not stupid and they're not playing around, and everybody's connected in levels that we don't realize when it comes to this kind of stuff. And so all these guys are all in lockstep, the casinos all across the board, all the tribal casinos in Washington State are connected to all the casinos in Las Vegas because they're all doing the same thing. I don't know about where you guys are at, but here over the last couple of years, they took out all the buffets. They used COVID as an excuse to take out all of the casino buffets. They've taken out all the nice restaurants, and they've replaced them with food courts. Absolute jokes that nobody wants to go to. You know, when I worked in the casino business, people went to the casino specifically to eat. That's why they went, because we had like 5 or 6 of the best restaurants in the area. All were in under one roof. And now you walk into a casino and they got the fucking Baja Mexican, the fake Italian, the fake fucking, they got Mexican, Italian, and Asian all right next to each other, literally like a fucking food court. It's all nasty food. Nobody wants to fucking eat it. And it's all by design. You know, and you will still have the steakhouse in the casino that is 10 times overpriced. Let's pay 10 times the price for food that's completely subpar. And the people that are serving and cooking it have no fucking clue what they're doing. It's just an absolute joke, but it's by design. Because they're moving towards online gambling. They don't want you coming to the casino, put it that way. And again, you know, Americans, we got to be, our hands have to be held. They have to show us, like, look, guys, it's such a shitty proposition to come here. You don't want to come here no more. Just wait. The online gambling's coming. And a lot of people already are. Washington State is the last state to fall in line. We are literally going to be number 50 because we have 29 Native American tribes here that have made billions of dollars off of casino gambling since the 90s. And so they don't want to give it up. But now it's got to the point where they have to because nobody goes anymore. The thrill is officially gone. You know, you get the casinos to get a few people in there on the weekend nights, and they'll definitely pack it out for, you know, the shows for the flow rider or whoever the fuck that guy is, and I don't know, whoever those performers that they got coming down here. I can't even think of any of those people. The casino is the same here, but people use their points because it's too expensive. Yes. The point system is one of the most profitable things that the casino ever came up with, you know. And, you know, maybe where you guys are at, the point system is, you know, it's got a little bit of value to it. They ruined it here. Where, you know, they used to be, when the casinos, you know, like 15 years ago, they would actually like mail you free play and all these kind of, like, you know, 2 for 1 for the stay at the hotel and 2 for 1 at the restaurant. People would love that shit. Like, people would talk about it all the time. Oh my God, I got my free play and this from this casino and blah, 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 blah. All that's gone. All that's disappeared. Slots, you get all the points. Yes. Yep. And the problem here is, you know, what they've done in Washington State is they lowered the minimum payout on the slot machines down to 75%, which it's just such a noticeable difference from, like, say, 15 years ago. You know, the amount of money that you can win on a slot machine just went down. It just did. And people finally realized, like, there's no reason to go play the slot machines if you're not going to let us win even once in a while, you know. So I watched somebody online on YouTube. I won't say her name, but she plays slots online, and somebody from our community, and over in Michigan, and she won. She was betting $6 a spin, and she got in a bonus, and the bonus lasted for 40 minutes, and it's on her YouTube page, and she won $3,900. See, that doesn't exist here in Washington State. Those types of, you know, maybe at some point it did, you know, if it's like, if it was at like a 98% payback or something, but when it's at 75%, there's just no way to win. It's impossible. So anyway, you know, I just think that one of my predictions is that national online gambling will fully roll out at some point when the video game GTA 6 launches. And I think that is set to launch. I don't know if it's this year or next year. Hold on. When does GTA 6 come out? November 19th. So I think that's still a little early for it to be national online gambling because Washington State is still going to take a while. But at some point, because, you know, GTA 5 came out like 15 years ago. So, I mean, this game is going to be around for a while. This is the most expensive game ever made, GTA 6. I'm not a gamer myself. I don't play video games. But in GTA 5, they had an online casino where you could walk in there and play blackjack, and you know, you could actually like rent a suite and have fancy clothes on and hang out with your friends, and it's kind of a whole experience. It was interesting. When I played it, I was like, I actually got a little bit of a vibe from doing it, and I could see the potential. And then just after how everything is played out, I just feel like in GTA, because the young kids aren't going to play slot machines. They don't have any interest in sitting down in a casino playing a slot machine. That style of gambling is not going to work after we're all gone. You have a few people, the young people that play slot machines, but they don't play not nearly in the numbers that we played in. So the video games and the how do you call it? The CGI sports is huge. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. They have like CGI auto racing and CGI everything that you can bet on. Video games, a new level. It's interesting. Yes, it is. And so I feel like they're going to introduce online gambling to the, you know, because you can't even say that it's the youth, because I would be very interested to see what the average player of GTA 6 is going to be. You know, it's going to be up there. Because, you know, I mean, you got people my age that are hardcore gamers. And then you go down 10 years, you know, 42. Those guys are hardcore gamers, man. Hardcore gamers. That's what they do. That's all they do. And I think it's kind of died out. You know, they used to all play Call of Duty and all that. I think the video games has, you know, unless you're a degenerate, because there's always going to be degenerates in every, you know, gambling or whatever, you know. Are there guys out there still spending 10 hours a day playing Call of Duty? Maybe they are. I don't know. But mark my words, November 19th, time is going to stand still. When mark that date on your calendar. Time will stand still. It's all that they're going to talk about this summer. And eventually they'll come out with the new PlayStation 6. Let me see here. Late 2027 or early 2028. Continuing their typical 7-year cycle. PS5 came out in 2020. Yeah, and the new system is going to be AI driven. It's got some, I was reading about it the other day. What's the name of that system? I don't want to get into the Sony thing right now. Like I said, I'm not a video game player. But can you imagine if you took the addictiveness of Call of Duty and GTA 6 and you combined it with the addictiveness of gambling? That's going to be on the level of, you know, social media. It's going to rival social media. Like, in the beginning, it's going to take it over. Like, the dopamines that you'll get from, say, like doom scrolling or all these things that we get from social media, it's not even going to register. It's not even going to register. They're all those guys are going to want to do is play that shit. GTA 6, I promise you. So we'll see what happens with the gambling. Can you go in there and I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Everything's going to change this next year. I just feel like with the refereeing, and I don't know how it all work, but like they have those robots in China that they're able to keep up with the dancers, the choreographed dancers. So why could they not run down the field? Like these little guys. And they wouldn't even need those because they don't even need them to look like humans. They could just be like those wheels. They have those droids that are wheels. Have you guys seen those things? Fucking weird looking. See if I can pull those up. Oh yeah, what was this thing again? 6-legged, built for speed and off-road mobility. That's not what I'm looking for though. They got so many different robots out there right now. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind having a couple, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of them myself. Playing tennis. Anyway, let's get to it. See what we got going on here. I'm just rambling. Is that the online casino that Dana White has something to do with? I don't know. What online casino is Dana White affiliated with? So it says there's some confusion. There's no official, but some websites and apps claim to be UFC Casino or Dana White Casino Online that appear to be backed by the UFC brand and his name. I highly would not doubt it, though. I mean, why would he not want to be involved in that? I'm sure that they already are in something. You know what's crazy about the UFC and Endeavor and TKO and that whole thing, and Ari Emanuel and the people that run that organization now? Their background, highly sketch. I mean, like straight terrorists. Like, it's crazy. If you know who Ari Emanuel's dad is. Those guys are not to be fucked with, I'll tell you that. There's a reason why they run all that shit. Those guys are straight gangsters. Anne Frank's stepsister, Eva Schloss. She claimed that a lot of the Auschwitz stuff was faked, the photos. I tend to agree with her. And I think it says she just passed away.
Pictures about the Russian liberating Auschwitz, and there's never any snow, and the snow was honestly that high. And so I have some connection with the Russian embassy, and I was there once, and I said, something puzzles me. Those photos are fakes because there's no snow. And they said, well, yes, they are not fakes, but when the army came, they didn't have cameras, they didn't photograph. So only much later, when they realized we should have pictures of it, they took pictures like you see now. But this is definitely not in Auschwitz and not the liberation of Auschwitz. There were not that many people with clothes and children and no snow pictures.
So it is proven that all that was faked. You know, it's not to say that it looks like Dr. Ruth for sure, Dr. Ruth Wessenheimer. But those were not, you know, the photos that we seen in the video was not of Auschwitz. They didn't take any photos or video from there, apparently. All right, what else do we got here? But yeah, you know what's funny about the UFC, going back to that, the Fertitas, Dana White has more money than a lot of people. He bets 100 grand on blackjack. Yeah, he does. He's a solid gambler. You know, but you know, the thing about him is like, he is the perfect commercial for Vegas because you can't do what Dana White does. You know what I mean? None of us can do what Dana White can do. First of all, they set limits for a reason at the table. When you walk into Vegas, you know, I don't even know what the table limit, but let's just say it's 5,000. You know, you could go into high limits and probably, you know, who knows what you can get it to, but you're going to have a limit. And I can almost guarantee it's not going to be $100,000. And just the table limit itself is how the casino wins its money. That's how they win every time. Just, you know, for a high roller, it's the table limit. That rule allows the casino to win. Because if the table limit is 5,000 and you're stuck 10,000, how are you going to get your money back? You can't. Now, if you're Dana White and you're stuck 650,000, you're like, all right, well, I'm betting 1.2 million on this hand. Well, all right, well, yeah, you're going to win. We know this. He's always asking for exactly, you know, and when you have that type of money, you can negotiate the rules, you know, because they'll bring in the experts for you. If you got money, man, you can do a lot of things in the casino. You know what I mean? Because the odds are the odds. They'll open up the book, break out the fucking stats. You can negotiate all kinds of shit. You know, if you know what you're doing, you know. They have high rollers and then they have whales. Have you guys ever seen that documentary about Larry Flint? They call him the man with the golden wheelchair. You know, the hustler guy. That motherfucker's a gambler. You want to watch somebody gamble? That guy can gamble. I've seen a lot of gamblers in my day. I mean, I was in the casino business for a little while, but Larry Flint can gamble. And the guy, the concierge guy that talks in that little documentary, let me see if I can find it. Very, very interesting to watch. Because he takes one casino for 400,000, and while he was gambling, the casino gave his girlfriend a $20,000 gift certificate to Neiman Marcus and let her wear a pair of, I think they were $36,000 diamond earrings from the casino's jewelry store while she was shopping. He takes that casino for 400 grand, and when she returns, he suggests that Larry Flint says, just let her keep the earrings. And they said, no problem. So imagine that. You take $500,000 off these guys, and then you have the balls to say, just let me keep them earrings too. And they say, okay. But then the guy explains, like, you know, you have to understand, like, how this all works. It's been a long time since I've seen that. I'll have to look it up. Obviously, it's not going to be right off the top here. It's a really good video though. If I find it, I will play it eventually. You seen him in person a few years ago? That's awesome. Yeah, he seems like a cool guy. He was shot, right? Like he was outside of a courthouse or something. He got shot, probably by the government. Trump was on Air Force One talking about Greenland.
On Greenland now?
Yeah.
How did we come up to Greenland?
So, do you expect to take an action against Greenland?
Well, I don't want to talk about Greenland. Let's talk about Venezuela, Russia, Ukraine, and we'll worry about Greenland.
The guy in the middle right there, that's Lindsey Graham. Remember we played the Ladybug story about him the other day?
In about 2 months. Let's talk about Greenland in 20 days.
On Venezuela, we talked so much about energy.
By the way, I will say this about Greenland. We need Greenland from a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you.
I think it's a big community.
So what are we going to do? Like, are we getting drawn into a world war or what? China's not going to fucking put up with this shit. You know, it's not about drugs. It's about routes and resources, and the routes, especially, I don't like it. I don't like how they joke around about that kind of shit myself, but I just find this video kind of funny, even though you don't really know what they're saying. It says, man, the way he finds and cooks these Zionist slaves, the accents are all perfect. And this is in Germany.
Guys, America first or Israel first? They look like Democrats. You guys Democrats? Democrats are always afraid. Oh, du bist Deutsch? Ich bin auch Deutscher.
Ja, genau.
Ja, ich bin Deutscher. Palästina oder Israel?
Deutschland.
Deutschland über alle oder Amerika über alle? No, du kannst nicht sprechen, du bist deaf? Sir, Deutschland first oder Amerika first? Deutschland über alle oder Amerika über alle? Ja? Free Palestine, ja? Macht sehr gut, ja? Oh, das ist wirklich wunderbar, Mann. Wirklich krass, ey. Free Palestine. Free Palestine, du deutscher Hund. Du deutsches Schwein. Du bist ein Schwein. Wir haben First Amendment hier, nicht wie Deutschland, du Schwein. Warum machen die deutsche Polizei so viel assaults? Why are the German police? What you say? It's okay yet? Don't touch me, sir. Get your dirty hands off me. Get your German paws off me. This is not Deutschland. Don't push me, sir. We're going to get another scene. Just for that, we got to get another scene. This is First Amendment rights, sir.
So this isn't Germany. This is obviously America, and they're talking to Germans.
We're not in Germany. This is America, boy.
American boy.
It's America, little boy. Little German boy. Look, oh, der ist rot ins Gesicht. Der ist rot ins Gesicht geworden. Oh, guck mal. Guck mal, der Deutsche an. Oh, der Deutsche ist rot ins Gesicht. Get away from me, security boy. Palestine. Palestine. Free Palestine. Du Hund, du Schwein. Du Drecksack.
And, you know, I mean, they're going to whack this guy. Yeah, you know, and I'm not saying that I agree with it, but what I'm so sick and tired of, and I think most Americans are sick and tired of, is these scumbag people that wear suits and ties that are just destroying our country from the inside out. You know, they're anti-American. They're just devils in disguise, complete snakes that are disguising themselves as Americans. I'm not saying these guys. I'm not talking about Germans disguising themselves as American. I'm talking about those Zionist people, the people that are, you know, that are saying that, you know, Christians need to bow down to Jews and all those fucking motherfuckers. You know, I'm sick and tired of all that bullshit. And that's what we're trying. And I think that's what the point of them doing this to those guys were. And, you know, I don't know. I'm not going to read too much into it, but there's a lot of that going on right now because people are getting fed up with this bullshit. This Palestine fucking Israel bullshit. This is the general manager of the Atlanta Falcons, Terry Fontenot. Says he was trying to explain himself to owner Arthur Blank on why they selected Michael Penix Jr. Just a couple months earlier, Atlanta paid quarterback Kirk Cousins a $180 million deal, and it was a disaster. So I just thought this is kind of funny that I don't think the owner's too happy with the GM.
Put a stranglehold, so to speak, on the South and really see if you can dethrone the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and be that team that makes that big leap. Because there's so many things that are set up so good for them. Pick essentially doesn't help you go ahead.
Think it might be time to get rid of old Mr. Fontenot. I don't know. I'm not a football guy, but Donna, good morning. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Happy Monday. What do we have here?
And finally, Sir John.
This guy says that I'm going to skip that bullshit. Don't care. I don't know if this is true, if you guys can verify this or not, but did Mom Domney sign off on call to prayer being legalized 5 times a day in New York City? I think this is Brooklyn, not Manhattan.
We are hearing Azan. Come here.
I think we pretty off the Texas stuff.
Yeah.
I think we got a 14 clip up in here right now.
I never thought in my life he's gonna be here hearing this in the middle of New York. Good. We are hearing Azan.
The owner of the Falcons has been there a long time. Right on. I'm not sure he's in New York City. Yeah, I don't know if that's 100% true. Let me ask ChatGPT. Are they blasting call to prayer over the loudspeakers in New York City now that Mom Domney is the mayor? Let us see what ChatGPT says. Let's look through the crystal ball. Well, it says in 2023, Eric Adams announced guidelines that allow mosques in New York City to broadcast the Islamic call to prayer without a permit on Fridays from 12:30 to 1:30, and during sunset prayers throughout Ramadan. Oh, here we go. No, I think that's false. Yeah, I don't think they're doing that. So I can't get $180 mistake, $180 million mistake, right? $180 million mistake. That's a big mistake, right? I mean, what were the details for Kirk Cousins' deal with Atlanta? $4 years, motherfucker. 4 years for $180 million. Yeah, that's a mistake. 4 years. Signing bonus $50 million paid up front, but prorated over the contract for cap purposes. Guaranteed money about $100 million guaranteed total. $90 million guaranteed across 2024 and 2025. An additional $10 million guaranteed in 2026 if he remains on the roster by the trigger date. Jesus. Other important terms, no trade clause. Cousins has control over whether he can be traded. The Falcons can't send him somewhere without his approval. Dead money. If Atlanta cuts him after the seasons with guarantees, they carry significant cap penalties, tens of millions in dead money because much of his contract is already guaranteed. What's happening since signing? His performance with the Falcons has been mixed, and he eventually lost his starting job to rookie Michael Penix Jr. in 2025. Atlanta has kept him on the roster rather than cut or trade him, largely because of the financial hit that would cause. Golly. Whatever that guy's name is, that bald black dude, get the fuck out of my office right now. That's what I would say. Get your fucking dumb ass out of my office before I... 4 years, $180 million. You got to be out of your damn mind. Cousins landed 3 major contracts and never did anything. Well, he's got to be connected then, right? Magooch. You know what I mean? I'd like to see what's going on in that negotiating room. What phone call did the owner get, or the general manager, or whoever get, pertaining to Kirk Cousins? That can't be by accident, right? And you know, and then we wonder about like how are they fixing games and all this kind of stuff. Why does Tom Brady get to play till he's 73 years old? Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. It's crazy. That's just an insane amount of money. Over 4. I thought this was gonna be like, but yeah, I mean that makes sense because how old is he? You know what I mean? Like, 37. 37 years old. He's making that type of money. Yeah. He lands himself in shit every time. His agent is a big deal. Must be. Who is Kirk Cousins' agent? That dude's got to be some fucking Mike McCartney. He works with Priority Sports and Entertainment. So, you know, they probably got a huge amount of that money. Because they're no joke either. You know what I mean? And probably, like, I wouldn't even want to be associated with a company like that myself. Priority Sports and Entertainment. Sounds like a bunch of bad people to me. Just saying. Got to be careful where you get your money from, folks. Because they come back for it eventually. Just because they give it to you don't mean they won't take it back. Because they will. And they do. Skip that one. This clown thinks he's a cop.
What's going on? Look at this. They're getting searched right now.
He's telling him to leave.
You're welcome. I appreciate it. All right. Have a good night.
Who are you?
Can I help you with something?
Hey, man, don't be shining that light in my friend's face.
No, you cannot.
What's your problem, man?
What's your problem?
Who are you?
I don't have a problem with you filming me. I don't care.
Who are you? Name and badge number. Get your camera. Get your light out of my camera, asshole.
You're not an officer. Turns out, he's not a real cop.
Name and badge number.
I don't have to give it to you.
You're not a real cop. Stop shining that light in my eyes.
Quit bothering people. You ain't a cop.
Where's my light at? Get his tag number.
So, all right, you see it? Do you see it? Good.
You just hit me in the face with it.
You see it? It's good.
You just hit me in the face.
I'm gonna mace you, bro.
You see it? It's right there. Good.
You just hit me in the face with that.
Yeah, he just assaulted you. I got it on video. You just assaulted him.
Tell him to come.
Now he's fleeing the scene. Fleeing the scene.
In Galveston, police say this man is accused of posing as an ICE agent on the island. He was caught after this confrontation. Take a look.
Name and badge number.
I don't have to give it to you.
You're not a real cop. Stop shining that light in my eyes.
Quit bothering people. You ain't a cop.
Now, Robert Harvey captured this video on November the 9th after spotting what appeared to be a traffic stop, but he says he knew the uniform didn't look right, so he confronted the suspect, 44-year-old Joshua Warner. He refused to show that ID and eventually got into the passenger seat of a blue car and then left. Galveston police later identified him and took him into custody on December 22nd on 2 counts of impersonating a public servant. He's now being held on a $500,000 bond.
What's going on?
Oops, I was muted. And he's the passenger in the car. Who's driving? Like, you guys don't have nothing better to do than put on a costume and drive around like, and he's not even look like a cop. He looks like he's fucking G.I. Joe or something. What the fuck? The fuck is wrong with you, buddy? Oh, yeah, nothing surprises me anymore either, Steven. Definitely not okay. And the fact that he's the passenger, like, I want to know who the driver is. Like, what type of fucking idiot does that? That is one good way to get shot for sure. The Colombian president is not happy. He's challenging Trump.
Y entonces le tengo que decir al señor Marco Rubio, hermano, si me va a meter preso, a ver si puede. Si me quiere poner la pijama naranja, inténtelo. Pero este pueblo no se le arrodilla. Sus odios del pasado que no los.
And if you notice, it's basically the same scenario as Nicolas Maduro. You know, challenging Trump, you know, waving his hand in the air, come fuck with me next, see what happens, blah, blah, blah. And I'm pretty sure that he is going to be next because part of the plan all along is to take the Darien Gap, which is it's a piece of land between Colombia and Panama. It's where South America meets Central America. And it's very important. It's like where the Panama Canal is, that area. So that's going to be like a staging ground for war. I don't know how it all plays out, but I just assume that we're going there next. And then Bolivia to get the lithium. But we'll see. Skip that one. This is here in Washington State. Brandy Cruz interviewed a member of the Democratic Socialists, and she asked him, "Give me one example of where socialism works."
I want you to give me one example of socialism you think working well somewhere.
A good example of socialism working well somewhere. This is a really, really cool question. I think of Cuba in particular, very, very high literacy rate, number one. Number two, extremely strong commitment to public health. So much so that when there are other ailments that are happening throughout the hemisphere, there's oftentimes Cuban doctors that you will see on the front lines of public health administration, their commitment to education. And we look at the fact that,
you know, when I hear this guy talk, you know, not to be gross, but I really think that he could take 2 dicks in his butt, not just one. And he represents the 43rd District of Seattle. His example of, Patty, good morning, of socialism working well is Cuba. Cuba. I'm just going to move on. I thought this was really cool. This is Cyndi Lauper on Johnny Carson.
Through this?
Yes.
Time after time?
Yeah.
Okay. It's all yours, Cindy.
Okay.
Okay. I'll walk you through it. Yeah.
Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and think of you. Caught up in circles, confusion is nothing new. Flashback, warm nights, almost left behind. Suitcase of memories. Time after, sometimes you picture me. I'm walking too far ahead. You're calling to me. I can't hear what you said when you said, go slow, I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find.
The whole version is on there, which I was going to play it, but the audio is all crackly. So, but love Cyndi Lauper, and I think she still performs too. What the fuck is this? This is former NFL player Fletcher Cox, with a fitting last name, Cox, participating in an Illuminati humiliation ritual. His face says it all. Now, I don't know if I agree with that, but I just don't get it. What are we looking at here?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait.
You already have a ring, but what would a win today?
Wait.
What would that mean?
Wait.
It means a lot. One ring is good. The second ring, especially the two, is legendary. When you get two, you kind of get into a whole other conversation. But it'll be special against my second.
Okay. All right.
One ring is good, two is better. And today you're facing off against the coach you drafted, Andy Reid. What were your emotions like when you saw him for the first time this week? I mean, they were there. They were there, but at the same time, I know, we didn't have a business, I said before the game, after the game.
Okay.
It's always, I appreciate him. He gave me this opportunity where I have to take bring me in.
Does anybody have any context to this? Like, what is going on here? Was this like, was this a, what are we watching? Why is he doing that? Is this a joke? Because it doesn't look like it's an SNL skit or anything. It looks like it's a legit interview. I don't understand. I don't understand. A woman's blouse. Yeah, it is a woman's blouse, right? I don't get it. Let me see if ChatGPT knows anything. Why was Fletcher Cox wearing a woman's blouse during an interview with Michael Stranahan? It just says that he wore on Fox NFL Sunday in a pre-Super Bowl interview. So was this not recent? This was like last year or something. I don't know. It says that he got a lot of attention from social media. Some people interpret it as unusual for a former. See, they're just sugarcoating it. He come out looking like a fag, wearing a woman's. He's a cross dresser. Why did he come out looking like a cross? I mean, quit sugarcoating it. Why did he come out looking like a cross dresser on Sunday Fox NFL? Let me see what it says about that. It says straight answer, no fluff. He looked that way because he chose or was styled to wear a silky, flowy fashion shirt that's commonly worn in women's fashion, and TV lighting, camera angles made it look even more feminine. That's it. There was no joke, no stunt, no Fox agenda, no ritual, no requirement, and no evidence he was forced into anything. It was a modern fashion choice, likely picked by a stylist trying to make him look high fashion or runway clean, and it backfired visually. Get the fuck out of here. Silky, flowy satin. Yeah, enough said. Exactly, Donna. As soon as they say, well, we're going to put you in something silky and flowy. What? No, you're not. I think Will Smith just had a problem recently with another man that he was intimate with. Damn. That was national TV, pre-Super Bowl interview. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me about Will Smith. These people, I mean, Beth, I got to move on. My brain is going to explode. I thought this video was really cool. You know, I'm all about wildlife and all this stuff. Magooch, I know you can appreciate this video. Check this out. They got these special zipper nets that they can catch seals and cut off the fishing line.
A lot smaller than expected, but took him by surprise, so he's angry. It's okay. You're all right now. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of line. Holy crap. Oh, wow. Sure. That is a lot of line. I think it's a bit brave, Tony. Leatherman Raptor.
It's okay.
Sure, he can breathe again. He was struggling to breathe.
It's okay.
Sure, Shan. Good man. Woo, there we go.
Do one down. We check it. Yeah.
That's a lot of line. Shame.
It's okay.
There we go. You can breathe again, buddy. Yeah. Okay. I think. Yeah. All the way down his back.
Whoa. Oh, he's strong. You're gonna be big bull. That's for sure. Oh, that's actually handy to be like this. Okay. His head is going out.
Let him out, huh?
Yeah.
Out you go. There we go.
And there you have it. They are able to get all that stuff off of him, and off he goes. Thought that was pretty good. Puffy's guy caught him with Will Smith and said he was... Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah, you know what's funny is they that just got swept under the rug, you know. We didn't get nothing out of that. You know, and Didio get out early and nobody, no Rico, no nothing. No one's going to jail for nothing. No Epstein, no nothing. We played this video a couple of weeks ago. There was an 88-year-old guy that worked for Ed Bambus, worked for Ford his whole life, and he had his pension taken away. His wife died a few years ago, and he was a Walmart greeter, just at 88 years old, and Ford took away his pension. They took away everybody's pension, and so this influencer Sam Weidenhofer started a fundraiser and raised $1.7 million for that guy, and so now he can retire.
There's a lot of support for you here, man. I want to truly say that your wife is looking over your shoulder. I know you've been visiting her a lot, asking about that, and you still have that $400 in my pocket you gave me. With everyone supporting the room, I want to reveal that this is one of the largest individual fundraisers in GoFundMe history. And if you want, you will be able to retire because we've raised you $1.77 million. I know it's unbelievable and I can't believe it. It feels fake, I know, but it's completely real. So we're going to sort out, the best way to get this to you. GoFundMe's going to work with us, and
Thank you.
Thank you. What does that mean to you? And to your family, right?
Well, I wish my wife were here. But it's something that means a very special from my beginnings to here.
It should not even be possible in this country for this to happen.
And, you want that. If you don't want to have to work, you don't have to.
If you take the top 20 richest people in this country, they could afford to do that to every person. How is it possible in this country that an 88-year-old man who already had a pension, worked his whole life for Ford, ends up in that situation? We shouldn't allow that. And thank God that guy raised that money, and that's awesome. But there's a lot more people like that out there. Meanwhile, you got somebody that's making, these guys now are making $100 billion or more a year. Trump himself has made, I think, $3 or $4 billion in 2025. Through Liberty Mutual or whatever that his venture capital is. Yeah, that's a good video. I'm happy for that guy. Good for him. Thought this was kind of a cool video of what Earth could really look like. You have the ice wall surrounding all of the continent, surrounded by water there, and then the huge rest of Earth. I'm not saying that that's what I believe, but it is a very interesting concept. What else do we got? Here is the where the sports bettors are demanding to investigate. It's 16-0. Minnesota's beating Green Bay. Minnesota's favored by 13.5. There's 1 second left to go. 9 seconds left to go. They call a timeout, and Green Bay decides to kick a field goal.
That will be it. Unless Green Bay maybe wants to get on the board here. Doesn't look like it. Final seconds are going to come off the clock. And now, yes, they will call the timeout. They're going to try to get themselves on the board. Last time the Packers were shut out in a game, let's go back to December 30th of 2018. So Matt LaFleur wants
So they could have just ran the clock out and avoided getting their kicker hurt. I don't think he got hurt, but it's always a possibility, right?
12th NFL season to try to avoid the shutout here in Week 18. Good snap, good hold, and the Packers are going to get on the board. Looks like that will be it.
So yeah, I don't know. That can be a good feeling for any sports bettors out there, but to be determined on that. Yep, and then we'll just go down the rabbit hole of Ari Emanuel's father real quick, and then we'll head over to Tommy's. It'll be the last video. I appreciate everybody hanging out.
Wondered who owns the UFC. You better buckle up for this. I'm just going to read very mainstream sources, and I'm going to let you fill in the blanks. And don't worry, it won't be hard to do. So in case we're not clear, we're talking about the UFC, the biggest mixed martial arts fighting promotion in the world. They're owned by TKO Group Holdings, which is owned by Endeavor Group Holdings. And the CEO of TKO Group is Ari Emanuel. And he is also the CEO of Endeavor, the bigger company, along with Patrick Whitesell, the executive chairman. But I guess his name is probably pronounced Ari Emanuel because it's Jewish, not Mexican. His father, Jerusalem-born Benjamin Emanuel, was a pediatrician who was in the Irgun, a Zionist paramilitary group that operated in mandatory Palestine during the 30s and 40s. And just to clarify, paramilitary group means terrorist organization. And just to clarify, that is not my definition or Hamas's definition or Palestinians' definitions. That is literally the Israeli government's definition. In 1948, they outlawed the Irgun and Lehi groups, declaring them terrorist organizations. Basically, everyone inside and outside of Jewish worlds called them terrorists and strongly condemned them. Here's a list of the bombings that they were responsible for. So anyways, his dad was a Zionist terrorist from back when Israel was being formed. And now he runs the UFC. Well, he owns the UFC. Dana White runs it. But that is just the start of this. Because he has two brothers. This one was Obama's White House chief of staff after years in senior positions in the Clinton administration. But there's another one. This one works at the Center for American Progress, the Wharton School, Harvard, and the NIH. But don't worry, the deep state is not real. Oh yeah, and President Joe Biden named him one of the 16 members of the COVID-19 advisory board. All three of those guys, their dad was an Israeli terrorist that even the Israeli government outlawed because their terrorist acts were so fucked up. Like bombing civilians. Literally. But wait, there's more. Because both Ari and his buddy Patrick, who are in charge of that other whole organization in charge of the UFC, they are also both in charge of IMG. They are co-CEOs. IMG is like a sports and media company. They have a whole entertainment and modeling division, including Miss Teen USA, Miss Universe. What does that remind me of? Yeah, you remember Epstein's pimp, Jean-Luc Brunel, who hung himself right before Epstein was all coming out? He allegedly procured more than 1,000 women and girls for Epstein. One of IMG's top representatives described him as a coked out misogynistic pig from day one. Whew. Thank goodness. I'm glad that IMG is not involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, except for this article where a bunch of survivors told their stories, and this one said that she worked for IMG. She told IMG what he was doing to her over in France or wherever she was, and IMG was like, oh, that's cool, whatever, no problem. And then they continued to send girls to him. Yeah, so IMG worked with him. And IMG doesn't just do modeling. No. Here is all the sports leagues and events that they work with. There's the UFC. They do modeling, consulting, events, like the Premier League, the highest level of English football, like the PGA of America, like the United States Tennis Association. They've got figure skating.
They got motorsports. Shit, they've even got the world's strongest man in the U.S. Open of surfing. Are you getting the picture yet? These three brothers, whose dad was a Zionist terrorist, have been top dogs at the Clinton White House, the Obama White House, the Biden COVID response. They control the UFC, a huge amount of the modeling industry, a huge amount of the tennis, golf, all sorts of sports, soccer, rugby. There are quite literal ties to Epstein. And don't get me wrong, I love MMA. I love watching the UFC, but just think about culture. Think about gladiators. Think about Rome. Think about all the other industries we've recently learned have weird ties to sexual blackmail rings. Think about modeling. Think about how young boys and girls grow up in America. And if you're on TikTok, think about downloading this video right now, because it's not going to last very long. And when it goes away, you can find it on the other platforms. Yeah, so that's who owns the UFC.
Nice little deep dive there at the end. Yeah, it's all crazy. So I just weird, like, you know, I always think about who is powerful enough to control the rigging of betting on sports. Well, people like that. You know what I mean? They have connections to every industry. We don't even know the names of those people a lot of times. So, but I appreciate everybody hanging out. Patty, Steven, CG2, Donna, Magooch, Tommy, and everybody else that was here. Thank you for hanging out. Happy Monday, and I will see you guys tomorrow, or I'll see you over at Tommy's.